Thank you very much. It is an alert from the feds. We've heard of it before. Now Homeland Security is once again alerting airlines and all of us to possible shoe bomb threats. Joining me now is Todd McGhee. He's managing partner of Protecting the Homeland Innovations. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Good morning, Shannon.
It's like deja vu. We've heard of
again.
this. We're familiar with the term shoe bombings, but tell us the details of this alert.
Well, we know it's not a domestic threat.
Okay.
We've been informed by Homeland Security that this threat is an overseas threat for flights coming into the U.S. Beyond that, we don't have much more information than that, Shannon.
So what does that mean if I'm headed to the airport? Am I going to see an increase in security domestically?
We could see more police presence. As far as the TSA, it'll be business as normal. As far as the regular traveling public, they'll probably experience the same types of security measures that they've seen in the past.
I say we're familiar with the term shoe bombings because we all remember Richard Reed, who's now serving life after he tried to blow up his shoe on that Paris flight bound for Miami after 9/11, a few years after 9/11. And I say shoe bomb, but my question is, so are they going to start looking at everybody's shoes? And if it could be a shoe, couldn't it just as easily be something else?
Well, Shannon, bomb making is limited to the imagination of the maker, absolutely. However, the frontline employee, that employee working within the infrastructure in an airport is literally the paramount, the first line defense to any type of security measure. And we really have to focus in on watching out, being vigilant in those employees, looking at the different anomalies from normal everyday behavior, and then reporting those findings to the authorities.
When they tell us that they say this isn't a specific threat, there's not a specific airport named or a specific airline, is that the truth, or do they really know a little bit more about this and they just want to alert everybody to this? And what should we be looking for?
Well, it's difficult to tell where the information was originated. It could be from our NSA, it could be from our federal law enforcement investigations, our intelligence community. So all of that information, as it's gleaned and it's gathered, is then post 9/11 world, all that information then should be and will be shared. And as far as our traveling public being vigilant and remaining consistent along with the frontline employees, that's the type of training that we look into and that we try to provide to get people to look for the anomalies and look for the different threats that could be in the infrastructure.
What's the criteria for bringing a threat to the level that you now need to tell the American people? Because I imagine, they're watching this chatter all the time. They hear potential threats, but what is the threshold for Homeland Security or TSA, anybody telling us that we need to be looking out for this sort of thing?
Well, going back to 9/11, there was heavy criticism about the lack of information sharing. In a post 9/11 world, I think our intelligence community, our federal, local, and state authorities are really trying to do their best due diligence once information is gathered to try and share that to the private sector partners, in this particular case, the airlines.
So yesterday, I'm sitting in this very spot doing an interview with somebody about this new program they're going to be trying at Logan to fast-track people through security. You can keep your shoes on, keep your jacket on, pay a price, and be able to slip through security. And immediately I'm thinking, when I hear this today, I'm thinking of that interview yesterday and wondering, is that going to complicate things, or is it going to make things easier for them to be looking at people that might be a potential threat?
Two sides of the coin, but again, you have a pre-vetted passenger that's already gone through some level of a background check, and that should help out the remaining travelers that are going through the different checkpoints, and that would also help TSA in the event of this particular security upgrade. Will they need to deploy more resources at the checkpoint? And if so, that would have a smaller pool of potential passengers, especially here in Massachusetts being school vacation week. You have more people traveling through the checkpoints, more people traveling through the airport.
Very busy this time of year. Of course, this all comes on the heels of the warning about the toothpaste and the Sochi Olympics. And so I'm thinking to myself, are we going to see more restrictions now? Because there was a time where it felt like they were easing everything, and all of a sudden you could, go through with your jacket on and you didn't have to take off everything you were wearing and put everything you owned into a bin. Do you think we're going to start to see more restrictions again?
I don't think that we'll see anything beyond what we're experiencing now. But again, that level of awareness, that level of intelligence that's being handed down to the grassroots level where we all are, allows us to remain that level of diligence, and it keeps us from falling into complacency, to be quite honest.
Any recommendation for the average traveler if you're headed to the airport or maybe headed back home today?
Absolutely. Visit the Homeland Security website. Take a look at what TSA requires for your travel. That's going to ease that congestion at the checkpoint for people that don't travel every day. And it's going to be a mindset of having that greater expectation, know what's responsible of you as a traveling individual, and that way your experience will be a lot smoother.
Maybe plan a little extra time just in case.
Always helps.
Todd McGhee, Protecting the Homeland Innovations. Thank you so much for your perspective this morning.
Thank you, Shannon.
Appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a break. We will be right back on the Fox 25 Morning News on this Thursday morning after this.